You're at the grocery store when suddenly your child erupts into screaming. They're all over the floor having a crazy episode. Every parent in the aisle is watching you. Your face turns with embarrassment as you're trying everything. You're reasoning, you're bribing, you're threatening consequences, but nothing will work. Here's what nobody's telling you though. If it's a meltdown and not a tantrum, you are using the wrong playbook entirely. The difference isn't just semantics. It's a difference between a behavioral choice and a neurological crisis within your child. And understanding this challenge is everything about how you get help for your child. Parents, today you are going to learn the key differences between a tantrum and a meltdown, which will shift how they respond. You'll identify warning signs before a meltdown occurs. You're going to understand why traditional discipline is ineffective during these times and discover how addressing the root cause through their nervous system can enhance your child's ability to regulate emotions and thrive. Unfortunately, today, 1 in 6 children exhibit behavioral challenges, including meltdowns and sensory processing issues. That's millions of families dealing with episodes that look like the defiance, but are actually something much deeper. It's not a behavioral issue, it's a neurological crisis. We will see patterns in each and every office where parents who have tried every behavioral strategy, every consequence chart, every reward system on the refrigerator, only to watch their child continue to struggle. They come to us defeated and they're wondering what they're doing wrong, but they're not doing anything wrong at all because they don't have the right guidance. Here's the truth though, is that they are addressing the wrong system, and that's what we're here to talk about today. So buckle up, we're going to start off first with the fundamental differences between a behavioral choice and an actual neurological event. So tantrums are tactical. It's your child maintains some control and is trying to achieve a specific outcome. Like they want a specific toy at the store or avoiding bedtime. They can often stop if their demand is met or if they are distracted. Whereas a meltdown, it's all neurological. It's in the brain and nervous system. Think of it like a computer with way too many tabs open, and then all of a sudden the computer crashes. Your child's nervous system has become so overwhelmed that it literally cannot process information or maintain control anymore. During a tantrum, your child can still hear you. They can process the consequences. They can make choices. But in a meltdown, their brain goes offline. It's like trying to reason with somebody who's having a panic attack. It's not going to work because they cannot process what it is that you are instructing them to do. The nervous system acts as an air traffic controller, and it helps every single organ system in the body communicate together. When it's overwhelmed, nothing can function properly, including emotional regulation, sensory processing, and behavioral control. So when that air traffic controller is stressed out, they're going to have a meltdown. It's not a tantrum. The perfect storm of events is a sequential sequence of challenges and stressors that come into the body, and it's how the nervous system becomes imbalanced to begin with. The perfect storm starts early, and it oftentimes starts even before the child's ever born. Prenatal stress will flood the developing nervous system with stress hormones, and essentially it programs it to be in a high alert mode. This is before a lot of times even you know you're pregnant because that nervous system starts to develop within 4 weeks in utero. Then from there, birth interventions create a second layer of issues. Procedures like C-sections, vacuum extractions, forceps deliveries, these can cause subluxation, which is interference within the nervous system, right when the brain is forming critical connections for self-regulation. This will affect things like breastfeeding or having issues with colic. These are things that transition to other stressors. These early stressors create this sympathetic dominance, an environment that's very stressful. Imagine a car that's, gas pedal stuck down. Just same thing with your kid's nervous system. It's all constant fight or flight mode, and it makes them even more vulnerable to sensory overload. It's like a building in a house with the cracked foundation. You can add all the behavioral strategies and therapies you want, but until you address that fundamental foundation, which is the nervous system imbalance, everything else will feel unstable. So the goal is to get to the root cause, and that's why without that root cause, you're having challenges with traditional disciplines making meltdowns even worse. And you've probably dealt with this firsthand if you're watching this video. When you try and discipline a child during a meltdown, they're already overwhelmed. Their nervous system perceives it as an additional threat, pushing them deeper into crisis mode. And that's what you may not be aware of, is that some of these tactics that you're taught aren't going to help the situation at hand. Punishments, on the other hand, during meltdowns, It's like adding more weight to an already overloaded circuit. It's not going to help. It's going to actually cause the system to shut down even more. And that's the challenge that parents are having today. Now, ignoring the meltdown unfortunately doesn't work either, because it isn't attention-seeking behavior. That child would have the meltdown whether you were there or not. It's a nervous system sending out an SOS signal that is desperately needing assistance in regulation. Even giving them what they want or giving into the situation that triggered the meltdown isn't going to stop it at all, because the issue isn't the trigger anymore. Once it gets to the point of the meltdown, it's all nervous system based and it's past its breaking point, and unfortunately it just needs time to reset. Traditional parenting strategies fail because they're not designed for behavioral issues. They're designed for behavioral, not neurological. So these strategies that you're being taught aren't for the right circumstance. And it's like using a wrench when you really need an entirely different tool. Like, it's not going to work very well. But you do want to recognize these warning signs, and you want to support your child if you have the opportunity to see any of these that we'll speak about. Meltdowns really come out of nowhere. You want to watch for these early signs, like covering ears or their eyes, if they avoid eye contact, if they start to increase their fidgeting or pacing, or they try to escape from other activities. These are all self-factors that can lead you to, like, okay, he's going to have a meltdown, calm down. These signs mean that your nervous system in your child is approaching its overload period. And think of it like a parking brake starting to engage. If you can provide support now, you might be able to prevent the full system shutdown. During a meltdown, your job isn't to stop it anymore, but it's to be a calm anchor while the storm passes. Stay regulated yourself. Focus on your nervous system to aid in co-regulation, because they can read your presence internally, and stay calm if you can. It's a lot easier said than done. Reduce the sensory input immediately. If you can, dim the lights, lower your voice, remove extra people from the space. Allow the nervous system to help process the environment quicker. And the more agitation, the quicker the body will regulate itself. But it's going to take a little bit of time. After the peak passes, offer regulating support based on what your child prefers. Maybe it's deep pressure, like those tight hugs, cold water, crunchy snacks, some sort of rhythmic movement. It's all going to help to just really get that nervous system to find its baseline again. Each child is different, so you're going to know what's going to work best for your child. When your child's meltdowns aren't a reflection of your parenting or of their characteristic, then that's a sign that their nervous system needs some additional support. They don't need extra discipline. When we address the root cause through neurologically focused chiropractic care, families do see dramatic shifts, not just in their meltdowns, but also in things like sleep or focus or overall resilience. Your child doesn't need more behavioral strategies. What they need is that they need help with their nervous system, finally finding balance between that gas pedal and brake pedal. So if you're interested in this information, click on the link below, comment, or send us a DM. Here at Maximize Chiropractic in West Sacramento, we serve families all over the area. Parents are driving over an hour distance each way to seek our help in this practice because of the changes that we're making in our community. So we look forward to serving you. Thank you.